Hi all, in this lesson we're going to take a look at circles and tangents, and in particular we're looking at tangents from points outside the curve. So this is in your workbook, page 43, and then we're going to move on to 44. And page 43, as I said, it's when you're given a point outside the curve and you're told to construct a tangent from that point that hits the curve. So we're going to see what the construction is like here, and we're going to get a chance to practice it a couple of times. I'm going to do some of the questions only, and I'll do part of each question. I'm going to do the whole thing in the first one here. I'll do all of the first, all of the last, and I'll just do one of these points. So there's the small one inside and the big one outside, and then there's 3 tangents here. So I'll only do some, and then at some points during this video I might just instruct you to pause the video and do it yourself, and then maybe work on ahead and see if you got the right answer by following mine. So if you would please follow those instructions, because that's really how you can test yourself and see if you're learning this properly. So for the very first example up here at the top left, I suppose it's very important that you pay attention to this, watch your couple of steps, okay? There is a box there for notes, and I'd expect that to be full, or maybe even up here beside it. So to construct a tangent to the given circle from a point P, what does that mean? Well, we can see the one here, okay? We can see the tangents here and what they do. Like, they start from a point and they just go up and touch the circle at a point of contact here someplace, and they just keep going. They don't cut through the circle. So for this point P here, it's going to be from P, it's going to go up, it's going to touch the circle here someplace. Now we can't just eyeball it, we can't just drop the circle or the set square down and just eyeball it and go for it. We have to construct it properly, and there's a couple of steps to doing that. Step 1. Join point P to the centre of the circle. Step 1. Join P to C. Step 2 is bisect that line. So I'm going to bisect that blue line that I just dropped in there. Open your compass to more than halfway. Describe 2 arcs from both sides. Step 3. So actually write down that number step number 2 there. Bisect line PC. Step 3 is to draw a semicircle, and then the line PC is the diameter of that semicircle. So you draw your semicircle, open it up to C, or open it up to P, whichever one you want. Open it up. I'm not going to go through my text, I've just avoided it there. You draw a semicircle if it's only one tangent, or you can keep going as well. Now, it doesn't matter how much of this you draw down here really. It has done its job at this stage. So step 3 is, and I'm just going to say arcs, because really I could have got away with it, and you'll see it after. I could have got away with just going from that point to C and scribe up just as far as there and down as far as there. I could have got away with just that portion only. That would be my arc or arcs. And that's it. That is mark and draw tangents. Step 4, mark POCs. Draw tangents. So mark your points of contact, draw your tangents. Your points of contact is where the orange arc hits the circle. The it's the same here. Now you're going to see in so many different questions from now on where it gives you a line that touches the circle, and if you just guess where the line is and drop it in, for example here on the Google Chrome logo, if you just guessed that I think it goes from about there to about there, and you just draw it in on the question, you will get no marks at all for that. There's no construction. So by just guessing the line and dropping it in, you get nothing. By showing your method of construction, you get your marks. Second question, I'm going to do the inside one only. Then I want you to construct the outside one yourself. Same method applies. I'm going to do the inside set, so P2 to the small circle, and then you can do P1 to the large circle. So for P2 in the small circle, there's C, join P to C. Bisect that little blue line. Now, even if you have a pen here, it's so handy for this. If you have even had a blue pen and a red pen for the different color coding. Once you have bisected, take your compass from the bisect onto the center. And arc it both ways. Where that arc hits the circle, both sides gives me my POC. And then I can draw my tangents from point 2 to POC, and from point 2 to POC on the right. That's that one finished. Next, what you'll do is you'll join the center to point P, you'll bisect, which gets your center point roughly here someplace. It might fall even on the curve, I don't know, but I think it's just inside the curve. And from there, you go into C and you'll go right out and you'll get another point of contact here and join it down, and one here and join it down. That's your task. On the third one, I'll do one and you'll do the other two yourself, so you have 3 to do this time. I'll just start off by doing this one up here. So there's P, P1 and P2. I'll do P2 there, and same method applies. Join the point to the center. We're ignoring all the other circles, we're just dealing with circle C, this middle one here. So with the small, the middle and the large, so, but it's a point to a circle and that's it. There's nothing else going on here. Join point P to point C, bisect that line. Open from this new center point to point C, and with that radius swing up and down until you hit the circle. Now, which one do I need? Sorry, do I need the top one? No, I should not have swung up. I should just have swung down, because this tangent goes from point P2 down here to the POC. So it's that tangent I'm looking for, the one that goes down, not the one that comes across. So it's just this one here. I need to repeat that process again 2 more times for the other parts of this question. And if I want to just set you off in the right track, point P into point C, bisect, swing your semicircle, it's going to be different to that point. Okay, that's not the correct point. That would be the correct point for this tangent up here from point P2 down. So it's going to give you a different point up here. And once you've that one done, you do the third time. Join point P1 to the center, bisect the line, swing your semicircle, and it gets you a point of contact out here someplace. That'll be your next 2 tangents. Pause the video now and give that your best shot to finish that, and give the last one your best shot as well. Okay? I'm going to get started on the last one. I'll give you one more instruction to pause again, but I'd like you to try it all yourself if you could first of all. So pause the video, give it a go. If you're back on now, I'm going to get started. So even if you weren't sure with this one, you were able to get going, of course, by starting off here over 125. Over 125 there. Stepping up here, vertical. And it gives us the measurement of 45. So everyone should have been able to do that, no problem at all. Getting started with that much. And at 45, from that point, there should be a circle in here. Touching that point, it's a radius 16. So the obvious thing to do is just measure in the radius of 16 millimeters. There. And draw that circle. So that's the first circle done. And then it gives me a second radius. I'll get onto the 40 now in a minute. We'll just say that we're not sure what to do with that one yet. We'll get onto that one again. It gives me another radius here though, from this point here of 25. So I'm going to measure a further 25 from that point out here. So 25 down to 0. I'll just extend that projection out a little bit. And that 25 down to 0, that is the center point right there. I'll just open up as far as my 25. That's what I get. Now, I don't know what part of this should or shouldn't be heavy yet, because there's a tangent from here to here. So from that point, P down in the corner, up to here. The center point of the circle is there. There's the center. Join P to C, bisect and swing your arc. So if you pause the video now, please, join P to C, bisect, swing your arc, get your point of contact and draw the curve. If you know what to do, the last part there, radius 40, that should be very easy for you as well, so go for that. On this one here, join P to center, bisect the line. And from that bisect position, open your compass up halfway into center and arc. Draw your arc. But that's arc is obviously part of the whole semicircle that I could draw. I don't need any more than just up as far as the POC. Once you have the POC and you have point P, you can draw your tangent. There we go. I should come back over it then and heavy in the portion of my curve that I know should be heavy. It can be hard actually to do with the compass. Now, last part here is to get the center point of this radius 40. This center point here. Now, the obvious thing is the radius 40 hits the start point, so it has to be 40 mil up to that. So I'm going to measure 40. If the radius hits a point, then we know that it must be a set distance away from that point. There's my 40 set and marked. So no matter where I put my compass on that arc I just drew, I get the radius going up, but there's only one particular one that will get it going up and touching the back of this circle here. Now we're back to what you guys would have done before on this one, right? What is this one going to entail? Well, if we just take a look at it, there's a radius 40 circle here. That guy is radius 40 from the center point. And there's a radius 16 here. And it touches at a point there. That'll be radius 16. It touches there at a point. So what do we need? We can't find the exact point where the radius 40 goes up and hits the circle here someplace. We can't find that exact point yet, but we do know that the difference, if it's 40 from here to here, okay, and if I subtract my 16, 24 mil should be the difference between the center and the center. Meaning, this distance right there, center to center, should be 24. Because it's 24 from here and 16 further to get out here. So if I set my compass to 24, here's my 24 mil. Set your compass to 24 and work from the center of that 16 back. Now, that's all I need to do for finding the center point, but to find the exact point of contact between the two circles, join the centers and extend. And that's it. Okay, that is the correct center point of the radius 40. Now I can set my compass from that position to the end of the green line, which is 40, and down to the start point, which is also 40. And it should flow seamlessly into this curve here, which is my radius 16. And that gives us another POC, point of contact between the two curves there. But there's a bit of drawing in that one. Nice little question. That's page 43 finished.